want to do this recording to talk about probably one of the most transformative books that I've read so far. It's called Mating in Captivity by Esther, I can't remember her surname, and I'm driving so I can't look it up. It's about how sexual attraction and desire fades in like long-term monogamous relationships, and how it's so common for it to happen, and it's something that's been just completely relevant to me and where I'm at in my life. And I think it's just been extremely transformative and insightful and relevant and sort of really eye-opening for a lot of the beliefs that I had around sex and marriage and my partner and myself, and not being comfortable to explore those desires that I had, maybe from a fear of jeopardizing, or from a fear of judgment, or fear of losing, that respect, or that of being vulnerable to explore those. It's a fucking really good book, and I don't know, so I don't know if it's because I'm just at that stage in my life where that's something that's really important to me, because me and my wife have separated recently due to a flurry of issues that we were struggling to deal with over the last, honestly, few years. I've talked about it in some of my other podcasts, but a lot of I'm just understanding a lot of it at the moment. And I don't know as well as if it's also because I really feel like I'm feeling the effects of my meditation. The transcendental meditation has been noticeably impactful. I just feel like there's this energy, this natural energy in me. It's not being clouded by like judgmental thoughts and thinking about other people and how other people see me, and things like that don't seem to have, actually the thoughts in general are just not occurring as much, and if they do occur, they just don't seem to sting or slow me down, or I don't get bogged down. I was in the gym today, and I truly, for almost 95%, maybe longer, of my gym, I truly did not think about what anyone else was thinking about me in the gym. I was only thought about myself. Like, I was just present, and I was thinking about things that I wanted. I was thinking about my exercises. I was completely concentrating on my muscles. Whereas a lot of the times I'm in the gym, I'm thinking like, I'm looking at other people. Are they looking at my form? Are they looking at how much weight I'm doing? Should I be doing more weight? Like, I look at their weight, There were moments in the gym today, but honestly, it was like 95%. Whereas I think usually it's probably like 40% I get to focus on myself, and 60% there's these thoughts that are just thinking about other people. And I really am putting that, it's hard. I'm just noticing it a lot more. And I don't know if it's because like me and my wife are separated, and there's been this space between us that has allowed our desire to grow again for each other. Sometimes you want what you can't have, a little like forbidden fruit, and there's a bit of space, and there's a bit of curiosity and mystery, and she's getting more independent, and she's supporting herself, and she's actually seeing other people, and and she's energized, and that's exciting for me too. And I thought I'd have a really big issue, when I found out. She told me one day she was about to start fucking someone, and I honestly never thought, I use the word never, I'm careful with my words. I really never thought that I would ever have been comfortable. Part of me thought I could try, but no part of me really believed that I'd be able to get to a point where I'm comfortable with it. And it's reading this book. I'm not going to be comfortable forever. But there's big hope for me that it's going to work out between us again. But I know that it's part of her. She needs to explore these desires, for herself to feel content, to choose to come back to the relationship. And I need to allow that to happen. And I know that there's sort of no really other way that it will work. If I try and stop her or guilt her into coming back to the relationship, it will end up in the same spot. But yeah, anyway, coming back to this book, Mating in Captivity, like, I don't know why sex education is not standardized part of education, like not just government fucking sex education, but a sex education about like monogamous relationships, exploring your desires, understanding that an intimate relationship with two people and building security and support and structure, over time, because you see someone in that way, it becomes harder to see them in this erotic fantasy, exploring sexual desires, like try role play, try fantasies that you didn't think of, get sex toys, and like to see the mother of your child and the wife and the person's support structure and the person that you spend time with, and to see them in their light. Whereas when you're first sort of dating, there's all this potential, there's all this unknown about each other, and the intimate side of it is building, but it's not to that level, right? You're still not sure of. You're slowly getting to know each other and revealing these things about yourselves, and so that's kind of why it's so exciting, and why the sex is so great, and why those feelings are so good. And as the longer you build that support, and you want that, because the other thing she was talking about is how traditionally, I think in our community, like if you look at the history of mankind, we used to sort of live in more sort of tribes where the support networks for people were, really, you'd have family and extended family and members of the tribe that would really help you to raise your children and to interact socially. And these days we're so independent, and that makes us really dependent on one person to provide all of these things for us. I've also been reading the book *Sapiens*. I forgot, by Yuval Navari, I think is the name. That's a really good book as well, just to sort of look at the broader picture of mankind, and really not to take things so sort of seriously as well, understanding we truly are just monkeys with a plan, as Naval would say. Maybe that book kind of ties into it. This book, Mating in Captivity, I really feel like every marriage counselor and every priest and everything should be like, you do not enter the bonds of marriage or a monogamous relationship. It's like once you've reached a 12-month mark, you should get this book automatically delivered in the mail, and both partners have to read it, because I feel like there's a lot of people that it's like the amount of divorces and breakups and like of monogamous relationships that fail because of this just massive gap of understanding of ourselves. It's such a good read. Honestly, the only other book that I can really think of that transformed such a small time frame and really noticeably had a massive impact on me was the first book that I read on getting back into books, was Alex Hormozy's $100 Million Offers. And so that book, I really love that book, and I liked it so much. I was like, fuck, I miss reading so much. Like there's a lot of really valuable content, and it broke me out of like this and belief patterns and got me excited for things again, and really got me back into books. You don't even have to physically read them. You can listen to audiobooks, which is what I do because I drive around a lot. I just listen to audiobooks a lot. So that book, it wasn't so much the content that, while I really do love that book and I think it's awesome, it wasn't so much the content that was transformative. It was just getting back into books that had that big impact for me. And this one is just one book that I do think it's because of the stage of the position I'm in my life. I think it's probably a bunch of factors that I've been reading books and I've been doing meditation and I've separated and I had this space and I've had a bit more clarity, and on top of meditation, the clarity is also coming from looking at my relationship with Marie from the outside of the relationship a little bit, and it's a different perspective. And I really am enjoying it. Really enjoying the book. I think I'm just over halfway through now, and every chapter, this is a book that I'll be going back to and this is probably out of all the books that I've read, Naval's book, the Naval Almanac by, what's his name? I forgot his name. That was a really good book too. It wasn't the business side of Naval's book that really spoke to me. It was the personal side of just being content, being authentic, and chilling out. Like you said, a monkey with, don't take yourself so seriously, just a monkey with a plan. All of these books have been really good. I also read Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. He's the creator of logotherapy, which I'd never heard of before reading this book, which is an interesting sort of approach to psychology of understanding, these existential suffering of what's my purpose in life. I don't know that I really took any one thing strong from that. If I could say the one thing that sticks out in mind, and I actually, on it, before I did this podcast, I had to Google to remind myself what the book was about. It was a good read. I did enjoy it, and there was some perspective there that I enjoyed. Was that, the last true freedom that we have, like if you put in a situation, the last true freedom that we really have is our choice on how we respond to things. You can be put in a terrible situation, but the only thing that really that you really have control of, if it's a situation that you have absolutely no control over, the only freedom that you have is to choose how you respond to that situation. And that's really cool. And and it's just been the meditation has been really helpful. What I've been noticing throughout the days is just total clarity of, not total clarity, I won't say it's total clarity, but significantly more clear just thoughts. And I feel more like myself. I feel like I'm getting back to, I feel like I got caught up in the last few years of trying to build this big business and trying to live in really nice areas and make good money and not have to work too hard for it, and status, becoming this racer person and having a hot wife and a gorgeous child and this perfect little family unit and living in nice areas and having a cleaner and living this fucking quote ideal lifestyle, but it wasn't fulfilling. And what I'm feeling more now is that I'm getting energy from things that I'm putting energy into by pure choice of my own, my own values, my own energy. And so rather than these things, trying to do these things and it taking energy from me, I'm choosing and doing things that are just, it's compounding my energy. I'm doing singing lessons. I've booked a singing lesson. It's something that I've been thinking about for a while, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it. And I was worried about isn't it, kind of, I suppose feminine to do singing lessons, but I really enjoy singing. I'm shit at it, but that hasn't stopped me. It does. Oh, that's not true, because it does stop me if I'm in a car with a few people that I won't sing because I don't want to, I don't want to ruin the song for them. So I just kind of sing just beneath the volume of the song, so they know I'm singing, but I'm not, I'm not overpowering the song. But there's just sometimes that I just want to sing fucking louder than the song. Or sing without music. I know if I sing without music, I really realize how my voice sounds. And that, that's I've just, it's something that I'm intrigued in, and I'd like to do a bit of singing. I'm doing dancing as well. I'm looking into dancing. I'm just trying to decide what type of dancing I want to do. I'm going to do dancing lessons. So I'm doing one singing lesson a week, and I've already booked that in for Thursday, and then I'm going to do one dancing lesson a week. And my purpose behind dancing is not that I really wanted to learn dancing so much as to I've got this. I noticed in myself that I've got, I really struggled to ever get a massage from, these massage places, any sort of therapeutic or anything, just relaxation massage. I'm on holidays or something. Really, really struggled with that. I just didn't want people touching me or strangers. And I noticed that in my relationship with Marie, there's a lot of times that she'd come to me for cuddles and things, and I really think that